so we can at least start with what we did previously. So, is there anyone who remembers that what we covered in the previous session? So, if you are having any idea, you can reply in chat box, or you can also unmute yourself and then also you can reply. So, do you think you are still aware about what we did previously? If you are having that idea, you can share with us. So, I'll wait for your reply. Come on, I'll later on give you clue if nobody is going to reply here. We started with a few terms, and there was also discussion on those different terms. Okay, so anyone who is still aware what we did previously, the person can share the idea in chat box or unmute yourself or and reply. I hope I'm audible to you. Am I audible to everyone? You can please give me signal in chat box that I'm audible to you. Yeah. Okay. So Manav replied that I'm audible. What about others? I'm also audible to you. Are you guys facing any issue? Mansi, Nikita, there are two Nikita. Yeah, Bharti also replied. Nikita also replied. Great. So, as I got to know that I am audible to you, so I am also assuming that you heard my question correctly. Now, you can tell me what we did previously, if you remember. So, you can tell me in chat box what we did previously in the professional ethics course. Okay, no problem. I think as we are having weekly sessions, that's why it may be difficult to remember what we did on last Saturday. So let me give you and let's revise what we did previously. So we started with the discussion of a few terms like morality. We got to know what is the meaning of moral. Then we also got to know the correct definition of ethics there. Why is there any difference or no? So we got to know about that as well. Then we also had a discussion on value. In value, we also got to know that there are few categories which we can consider as a part of value, like individual value, societal value, organizational value, and what are their own importance. So we had a discussion on that, as well as after that we also took the example like Tata and Infosys. So both the groups are very prestigious. They are having their own value in the market. They are keeping some of the aspect which they are observing in all the employees, those who are part of that organization. So as they are focusing more on their organizational value, how they are growing and how they are achieving different standards and what is kind of impact they are making. So we took the example of Tata there and then Infosys as well. Then we had a discussion on spirituality, where we had a discussion that whether spirituality is having any connection with the ethics. So is it any relevance of ethics there? Spirituality is connected with the ethics or not. So on that aspect, we had a discussion. Then furthermore, there are a few topics like we had a discussion on stakeholders. Who are these stakeholders? Where this ethics is related. That means, is it only for the individual which where ethics is related, or there are other categories? So we identified that even society, even organizations, they also should have to follow ethics, and that's why they can be categorized as uh, stakeholders of ethics. Then some of the governing ethics, where we also took the help of some example. These are the edicts which earlier nobody was considering as unethical, but then because of time, because of the change in the thoughts, people do consider that now there is a time of changing. So these are the categories like social ethics. Then we also discuss regarding constitutional ethics, wherein law is making some impact. uh, there are some edicts like universality, where from country to country, from person to person, from society to society, it is not changing. So this all thing that we discussed as a part of previous session. Now here, let me tell you what we are going to do today. So as a part of today's session, we are going to discuss about profession and professionalism. These are the two main important things whenever you are working in corporate life. These are the things which you should have to observe. If you are not following, then what kind of consequence you can face, we are also going to discuss about it. So it's a wonderful thing, and there we are also going to learn about different aspects. Okay, uh, we are going to start with one polling. That means we are going to take your votes, and you will find few interesting questions there. And let's see how many of you are still aware about what we discussed previously. So this is based on what we did previously. Now let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paste one link in your chat box, and all of you should have to go on this link. And there are a few questions in which your voting is required, and your name won't display there. You simply just have to mark what you find as appropriate option. Then I'll also show you the result, what the whole class is thinking. So I'm going to paste one link now. The link is pasted there in your chat box. You can go on this link, and then we are going to start about our quiz. So there are few, just three questions there. Uh, this can help me to identify whether you understood what we discussed previously or not. So that's why we are having this quiz. First of all of you should have to be there on this link. Whenever you are ready, I'll start the quiz. Till the voting is not open, let me share the screen with you. Okay, I think now you can see the first question. The first question is this: which of the following is the relation between ethics and moral? There are two options for you. Both are completely same, or they are different but not completely. So these are two options in front of you, and I'm about to start the voting. I make sure that you are there on this Mentimeter and you logged in properly. So I'm going to start the question, the voting. So guys, the voting is started. As I already told you, there is one question, and you are having two options. You can select any one out of these two, and we'll see what is the final answer afterwards. So far, 18 people responded. Great, and the numbers are increasing. Mark your response, what you find as appropriate. So far, 27 people responded, and everybody should have to respond here. So I'll wait for everybody's reply, and After a few seconds, I'm also going to start the timer so that everybody will complete in particular time. Okay, 30 people responded. Great number, 31. And let me start the timer so that, okay, I started 1 minute timer. Within this 1 minute, all of you should have to reply. Otherwise, it will close the voting automatically. I want to know the final result so that we can get to know about the idea which your whole class is thinking as appropriate. So let's identify. So guys, only 30 seconds left. If you haven't responded, reply. Otherwise, it will not allow you to mark your response there. Select. There are only two choices in front of you. And last 15 seconds. Be quick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So far 31 people responded. It's a good number, and majority of you are thinking that 20, uh, the second option. There are they are different, but not completely. So 28 people are here with the second option, while 3 people are also saying that both are completely same. Okay. Now let me also tell you the correct answer. Correct answer here is the second option. They are different, but not completely. So ethics and moral, they are different as we discussed previously. Once again, I'll tell you, uh, though the ethics is taking help of moral in defining its own definition, but if we talk from the perspective, like moral is about individual person. It is like I do believe about some of the aspect as morally right, but some person may think that this is morally right or this is the morally wrong. So person to person moral can change. But if we talk about the ethics is set by the external authority, as we also discussed previously, that society, some of the other parties, some of the third party, like organization is also telling you to follow something. So it won't change from person to person. If there is a rule of not killing, then it is applicable to everyone, right? So that is that at that area, both can be considered as different, but they are also not completely different because they are focusing on uh, giving a direction to a proper human behavior, and that's why they cannot be separated as well. And that's why second option is the correct. Great. Now we'll go for the second question. I hope all of you are ready. Let's see the second question here. So far, many people are here, and these are the symbols. Now let's, okay, the numbers are increasing. Now let me start. So you will find the second question on your screen as well. The second question is this: ethics derived from a Greek word, ethos or ethikos. There are two options, true or false. You have to select accordingly. And the timer is already here with this question. It is of 1 minute and 30 seconds, and timer is already started. And you can also see what is the remaining time here. So far, 22 people responded, and remaining time, as you can also see on screen, is of 1 minute. So last 1 minute for all of you. Record your answer, otherwise you will not be able to do it afterwards. Last 35 seconds. Be quick and mark your response here. I'll also show you the result and also tell you what is the correct answer. That's 20 seconds, guys. This is for those who haven't recorded their answer. Be quick, otherwise it will close the voting. And we are about to see the response. 3, 2, 1, and time's up. Let's see what is the correct answer. Okay, so there are 30 people who responded it's true, and there are 2 people who are also saying it's false. But as you can also see on screen, true, the first option is the correct here. Yes, we had a discussion on previous lecture that ethics, it derived from a Greek word, ethos or ethikos, which means character. So character of a person, and that's why this is the correct answer. I am very happy that many of you are still remembering what we did previously, and you are selecting appropriate answers as well. This is also kind of preparation for the exam. In exam, if you are already aware that this kind of question, if it is asked in Viva, then you can reply. And I'm very happy that the majority of you are aware about this answer. Really great. So now only last question is there. So I am hoping that all of you are ready. And let's see the last question. The last question is this, the third question. Practice of dowry is forbidden under Indian law is the example of what? So you are having actually 3 choices there: social ethics, constitutional ethics, or universality. So what do you think is the appropriate category for the particular situation? And so far, the numbers are changing. After recording your answer, you can also come here and check what other people are thinking. So far, 21 people responded, and this is what majority is thinking. I'll also tell you what is the correct category where practice of dowry, which is forbidden under Indian law, can be categorized. So let's see. There are 29 people responded, and I'm about to start the timer so that. Okay, 1 minute timer is started, guys. You can record your answer within this 1 minute, otherwise it will not allow you to do so. So we quick, last 40 seconds left. We want to see what everybody is thinking here. We already had a discussion on many other aspects, but I kept this example here so that we can get to know about your understanding about particular category too. And last 20 seconds, so far 32 people responded. On previous question also we got 32 numbers. So I'm assuming that this is the maximum number. We are about to see the final result. 3, 2, 1, and voting is closed. Let's see. So far, out of 32, majority of you are thinking that social addict is the example, is the correct category for this example. So that is what majority is thinking, while 14 people are also suggesting that constitutional addict is the category which we can identify as a part of this example, while there is one person who is also saying universality. Okay, let me discuss what is the correct here. So first of all, universality cannot be the correct answer, because if we already discussed that universality is something which is applicable everywhere, and it is about Indian law. Earlier, there was no law, and the practice was happening, though secretly many times the dowry is still happening, and that's why government is observing with the help of law. So universality cannot be considered here. It says that in any part of the world, this should have to be prohibited. But here we are talking about Indian law, so Indian law is not applicable in everywhere. So that's why universality cannot be the correct answer. Well, if we discuss about constitutional edict, yes, this is the correct one. Why? Because here we are talking about the Indian law. That means earlier we do know that society was considering that dowry is kind of practice which is ethical, and everybody should have to do it. Uh, and that's why people were not thinking that this is unethical act. And then law came, and now we are aware that it is prohibited. If somebody is asking for the dowry, then they can also face the consequence by the law. They can face the jail, as well as they can also have to pay some amount. So it is punishable act now, and that's why we can categorize in constitutional edict. If there was no law, then uh, there can be possibility that this is still in continuation. Dowry uh, majority and the society won't think that this is an ethical act. And that's why constitutional ethics is the appropriate category where this example can be categorized. But if we talk about the social ethic, it is also not completely wrong. But if we want to identify the correct answer here, so correct answer is constitutional ethic. But somewhere dowry is also related with the social issue. It was a social issue because many families were unable to pay the dowry amount, uh, the demand of the male party and their family, and it was very problematic situation there. But if we look at the law aspect here, then constitutional ethic is the correct one. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm also very happy that majority of you remember what we did previously and you identified the correct answer there. So glad to know this, and keep learning. We are learning on many aspects here. Now we are going to jump on what we are going to do today. So we are going to discuss about many different aspects here. Let's see. First, let me share the screen. So, as I told you already that we are going to discuss on profession and professionalism. This is a main topic under which we are also going to discuss about a few different terms. So these are the terms which are very common, but they are also kind of similar. So let me tell you about this term. So these are the terms: profession, professional, and professionalism. We are going to discuss on all these three. First, I would like to know your response about your understanding. This is a common word, profession. So can anyone define what is profession? Then I'll ask you about professional. But first, let's start with the profession. According to you, how you can define profession? So what is profession according to you? Uh,
It
yeah.
is a work for which you are being paid.
Okay. So there is one answer which Rishabh replied here. According to him, this is kind of job where you are getting paid as well. Great, nice answer. Mohammed is saying that occupation. Great, nice answer. What about others? Think, and you are also invited here in the chat box so that you can reply and you can contribute. Let's interact with each other and let's learn from each other's point of view. And that's why we are having this course, Professional Ethics, where by the having discussion we are learning many aspects. So let's have a discussion on this. There are two people who responded so far. What about others? Should I point out any person and then you will reply? So let me see who is here. Okay, Tree is saying that quality. Okay, that is profession. Then other answers that Yashan is saying that job. Okay. Is it only job then? If there is already a word job, then why we are having this word profession? Are they saying job which requires certain specification in terms of education or training? Yes, this is kind of appropriate one for which we get paid. Okay, addition to Bharti's definition is there. Nice. So, so far many responses that we are getting, but I want everybody to think. No problem. There are two more terms in which we'll take your help. So first, let's see what is the actual definition of profession. So if we take the actual definition of profession, it is taken from Oxford Dictionary, which defines profession as a type of job that requires a specific special training or skills, especially one that needs a high level of education, such as engineering, medical, legal, or teaching. So this is the definition which is provided by Oxford Dictionary, and there are few responses that I would like to read. Nidhi replied that profession is the field in which we work. Professional means skilled person in any profession with some training. Professionalism, that means the correct way any person can contribute towards their profession. So we got all the three reply from Nidhi. Great. I am very glad to get the reply. So if we understand the definition correctly here, it says that it is kind of type of job where requires a special training or skill. Without any kind of training or skill, you cannot say that I am professional. I am doing profession. This is my profession. Why? Because let's say that you started a new work where you are not having a knowledge about it, and you are also not trained for it, then you cannot say that this is my profession because you just started, and this is not a regular job that you are looking for too. If you are also going to go for a higher level of achievement in that particular job, then you do require some training and skill. Then there is a question that can we call if you read the complete definition of Oxford Dictionary, it also suggests that there is a requirement of high level of education, such as engineering, medical, legal, or teaching. So, my next question to all of you is this: that can you also say that mechanic? We are talking from the perspective of India, so we do know that plumber is there, mechanic guy is also there. So, can you also tell that this is also profession? What do you say? Can we say that plumber, mechanic, though they are not having a degree in that particular area, they are not having education about it, but still, do we categorize them in profession? So Mohammed's answer is yes. Okay. Bharti is saying if plumber are trained in their area, then we maybe correct. Okay. Bishop is also saying yes. Great. Okay, so yes, we can also call that as a profession. Manu is also replying here. Yes. So, and Pratik also responded. Sorry, Pratik also responded here. So actually, the correct answer here is yes. We do also consider plumber as well as mechanic as a profession because they are not having education in that particular area. They are not having degree like engineering or something, but they do have a skill. They are also very well trained, and that's why they can perform the particular task with the ease, and that's why we can categorize that as a profession too. Now, if we look at the definition of professional, it says that a professional is a member of a profession or any person who earns their living from a specified professional activity. So, if the person is doing that particular profession for his or her living, and the person is also earning there, so then we can say that the person is professional of that area. he is a professional doctor, he is a professional lawyer, those kind of things. So the term also describes the standards of education and training that prepare members of a profession with a particular knowledge and skills necessary to perform their specific role within that profession. So this is also kind of very well related with the previous definition, where there is a discussion regarding knowledge as well as skills as well as training. So if the person is uh, very well aware, the person is having knowledge and skill, or the person is having training as well in that particular area. So we do categorize that as a professional too. So now let's uh, discuss about the third aspect, that is professionalism. We already got one reply from Niti, but I want to know about other people's reply too. So now the next term is professionalism. Can you define professionalism here? In your own language, you can. So let's wait for the reply in chat box. I want you to think how you can define professionalism. And this is also not a new term. We heard this many times. Okay, so we are getting replies, and let's read what is the answer. So Rishabh is saying that someone who doesn't let professional matters sip into their work and have separate professional life. Okay. Now, uh, Bharti is saying that act of indulging in profession. So, Bharti, if this is the definition, then this is also appropriate for the professional, a person who is indulging profession. That is also known as professional, right? We are talking here about professionalism. Mohammed is saying that it is the conduct behavior of someone in a working environment. Okay, very appropriate definition. She is saying that the expected behavior in profession. Yes, this is also quite related here. So now we are getting the correct connection with the word professionalism here. So far, many people responded, and let's get the correct answer. Let's see the correct definition, which majority of you are thinking. And this is the actual definition of professionalism, which says that it is a conduct, behavior, and attitude of someone in work or business environment, which Mohammed very well identified. So this is the actual definition. It is about how we deal with a particular activity, business activity. Let's say that task is given to you, whether you are doing that task with appropriate manner or not. So that is actually telling about professionalism there. How you are behaving with your colleague, how you are behaving with your fellow workers, that is also more important. It includes everyone, those who are part of your business environment, and how you are behaving with them. That is more important aspect. You will find that there are many people who will be part of your team, or they are also in a different department, but you are in same company. There can be also some external people, like you can also consider customer. So how well you are behaving with the customer, that is also talking about the professionalism there. Then how well you are also making a good behavior with your seniors, your juniors, not only your boss. And you are considering everyone, those who are there in that particular business environment. Your good behavior with them is about professionalism. Secondly, your attitude towards someone as well as some work as well. Let's say that your some work is given to you, how well you are doing that particular work. If you are, let's say you are being lazy and you are not completing the task in the said deadline, then you cannot say that I am doing professionalism there. So professionalism is actually talking about all these three aspects. How you deal with the particular situation, that means how you conduct particular activity, how you behave, and what is your attitude towards a person, towards the task, towards the all the activity which are quite related with the business environment. And that's how professionalism is one of the important aspects there. There are few general traits. That means few qualities you can consider that a person who consider professionalism as important, one should have to observe. So this are just a few lists. There can be many things as well. But if we take the example like appearance is one, reliability, competence, ethics, communication, organizing skill, accountability, these are the basic requirements. Uh, if we discuss about professionalism, so if you want to observe the professionalism in your corporate life, then these are the few general traits that a person should have to consider. While there are many other things as well, like being on time and completing the task, taking the full accountability of that task, then you should have to also complete the task in a given deadline. Your behavior with the other people, that also we can categorize in communication part, and how well you are maintaining your desk. So organizing skill is also there. So this all are the few traits which a person should have to observe if one should have to obey the professionalism in one's life. So that is more required. Now I'll show you one video. This video is giving quite idea about professionalism, and if there is no professionalism, then what could be the problem? So I'm going to start a one video. Just a minute, guys. In this video, there is no dialogue, and we are also going to discuss about few aspects there after seeing this video. Okay, there is one question from Mohammed that, sir, does leadership also form part of professionalism? Leadership can be categorized as a skill. And under leadership, if we talk about different style of leadership, like there is leadership of democracy, democratic leadership, and autocratic leadership is also there. So leadership cannot be categorized as professionalism. If we talk about the aspect about leadership, that a leader who is taking care of the people, the one who is not just giving order, just also giving guidance to the people. So then we can say that, yeah, it is kind of professionalism. A leader is observing. But leadership is just a skill. There are various leadership styles. And there is a separate course which I am also teaching in a different branch. In mechanical branch, I am teaching organizational behavior, where there is a separate chapter on leadership. And if, from that all the aspect, we cannot categorize that as a professionalism. Okay, now let me start the video as I told you. So we are going to see one video. I'm going to cut some of the part. skipping some of the parts. Okay, so I think you have seen the whole video, and now let's get your response. What was learning there? Do you think that professionalism was observed between them? So I'll wait for your reply in chat box. Reply. What do you think? What was there? What was happening there? So we have seen that there were two robots, and both of them were looking for green stone. One robot was having a skill to identify. The robot was having scanning skill. He was able to identify whether there is a green stone in a big stone or not. While the other robot, which is a big, he was able to break the stone. The first robot was not able to do it. Then they got to know about each other that the task is same for both of them. So let's work together. We started working together, and then uh, the small robot was identifying where the green stones are lying in the big stone, and the big robot was breaking the stone, and he was able to crack that stone. And then green robot was distributing. The small robot was distributing that green stone equally in both of the storage. So the work was going fine. Then we have seen that there was a problem happen. While there was a even number, they were able to distribute equally, both of them. But then a odd number came, and that's why a problem started. So what was the learning there? Can anyone tell me? And I hope you have seen the video, whole video. they had differences. Like small robot was thinking that this extra stone should have to be there with me because I uh, contributed very well. I am having this ability to scan throughout the stone, and that's why we are getting it. Well, the big robot was thinking that because of my ability, I was able to crush the big stone, and that's why we are getting this many green stones, and that's why this extra stone should have to be there with me. And then problems started. They started fighting with each other. So actually, professionalism was not observed there. Why? Because ego came while they started working together, and that's why all problems started. Now, if we talk about the importance of having professionalism at the work, then these are the importance that we can categorize. So the first one is about creates boundaries. Professionalism is telling us what to do and what not to do, and that's why it is helping us to create a boundary where the task is going to be in a wrong direction. So we should have to avoid that, and that's why the first one is about creates boundary, and that is one of the importance which we can consider. Others are creates an atmosphere of improvement. It is also helping us to improve. Then the sense of responsibility. One should also have to have a responsibility, the sense of responsibility. Like if some of the tasks are given to you, and some rules are also told to you that you have to do in this manner, then you should also have to think that this is my responsibility and I have to finish the work. If you're not doing it, and if you're not having sense of responsibility there, then you cannot say that professionalism is there. Then, furthermore, mitigates the conflicts. We have seen that two robots were fighting. So, if both of them uh, observe the professionalism correctly, then it can be avoided. Like there was extra stone, but they can avoid the conflict. They can keep that extra stone aside, and whenever the next odd number uh, will be observed in the next operation, then they can then divide among themselves. So conflicts can be avoided by the way of talking, by understanding each other's nature of job, each other's value as well. So professionalism is also helping us to mitigate the conflicts. Then further, increase job satisfaction is one of the important aspect here, and it is also helping in personal growth. Like if you are working very well, then it can also help you to achieve what you want from the organization, and it can be like it can give you promotion. It can also give you some of the benefits, monetary benefits from the organization, salary increment, or those things. Now, this is the time where we are going to take the attendance. So let me share the link with you. All of you are requested to go on this Google form link. I am about to activate the form. So, yes, now the form is activated. Now you can go on this link and mark your attendance. First of all, select your class AI or Big Data. After marking your attendance, you are free from my side. We are again going to meet in next Saturday, and then we are also going to discuss about various other aspects. I hope you are learning many things here from this course. Keep learning, and have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. I'm still here in case if you are facing any trouble. Please let me know. The form is already activated. All of you are requested to go on this Google form and mark your attendance there.